Hi everyone, Terry here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, before I start, this is a questions and answers video, Q&A announcement that I'd like to do. So remember to leave all your questions in the comment section below, and then I'll do a next video on top of that to answer them as best I can. Now, as I said on Facebook, tomorrow I'm not going to vote at all. Thanks to Minx Laura 123 for commenting on that video. There you go. I'll be on her live stream tonight, on the live stream tonight, commenting on ASMR Tingles Tingles, which is like that. As you all know, that is good ASMR tapping, whispering. I can't whisper at the moment, it's my throat. Does hurt my throat as well sometimes, gets me out of breath whispering. Now, as I said on Facebook as well, I won't support a government I don't believe in. Politics does drive me mad, it really does. Plays on my mind, and sometimes I have a nightmare about it, but I don't worry about it too much. I'll just stick with the railways, stick with that, stick what I love. Nice steam trains, steam trains, the lot. Everyone keeps going on about politics for British Rail. Now that has been playing on my mind as well, British Rail. If that returned, I don't know what it would mean for our steam engines, for our mainline engines. Like for Tornado, Clan Line, you name it. I don't know what it would mean. But also, this is a story video. I'm going to tell you all a story about a very famous steam engine. Not Flying Scotsman, no, not Flying Scotsman. An engine bit after Flying Scotsman that reached 126 miles per hour. And yes, that is the famous Gresley A4 Mallard, number 4468. Class A4 Pacific. I hope you're all sitting comfortably, and then I'll begin. In 1923, the LNER, London and North Eastern Railway, was formed, and their chief mechanical engineer was Sir Nigel Gresley. And he designed his first Pacific locomotive, the A1 class, which later became known as the A3, because they suffered boiler problems. But when they were originally A1s, the original, they did good test runs, and plus they did locomotive exchanges. A3 Pacific Victor Wilde was swapped with Great Western Castle class 4079 Pendennis Castle and tested between Paddington and Plymouth. Victor Wilde did really well on the Cornish Riviera Express, and from King's Cross to York was hauled by Pendennis Castle, and that made it a historic run up the East Coast Main Line. Now, it would be nice for a Castle class to go up the East Coast Main Line again. I would love to see that. And in 1920, on the 1st of May 1928, the first non-stop run, Flying Scotsman Express, ran non-stop for the first time from London to Edinburgh, and the race for speed was on. And in 1934, when Flying Scotsman was taking the non-stop express to Edinburgh, it was test trialled with a dynamometer car fitted down Stoke Bank. The magic 100 miles per hour was reached by the first time by Flying Scotsman. Now, everyone would say City of Truro was the first engine to do 100 miles an hour down Wellington Bank, but that was dismissed because people were frightened of speed to begin with when City of Truro did 100, whether she did it or not. But it was good to be preserved. She's still in the National Rail Museum at York. Now, After the Flying Scotsman did 100 miles an hour, 104 miles per hour in 1934, and in 1935, when the A4 Pacifics were going to be unleashed, the magic 108 miles per hour was touched by A3 Pacific Papyrus, and that engine reached 100. But then came Silver Link. The A4 Pacifics, that were designed by Sir Nigel Gresley. He made his visit to Europe, where he can get ideas for his new locomotives. And when he saw the racing cars by Ettore Bugatti, he decided to create a new design, a streamlined Pacific locomotive that can cover everything from London King's Cross to Newcastle from 6 minutes to just 4 hours. And he told T.A. Steele, Doncaster's chief locomotive draftsman, to supervise a design for a new locomotive, and that was the A4. The first batch of engines, the Class Pioneer number 2509 Silver Link, went from drawing to completion in 74 days. And the A4s were astonishing locomotives. To match the Silver Jubilee Express with the silver streamlined coaches that the A4s were given, the engines were given the same livery, as they were streamlined in silver grey livery. Then, only 10 suffered a failed engine on London to Newcastle services on the Silver Jubilee. Silver Link reached 112 miles per hour on out and back express runs, but then later to be beaten by her sister engine Silver Fox. There were Silver Link, Silver Fox, Quicksilver and Silver King, 4 batch of silver engines. Sadly, none of the original silver engines survived, but in the late 1980s, Bitton was turned out as Pioneer 2509 Silver Link to give a flavour of those early days. Then, in 1937, a speed record was set by the Coronation Scot, an Empire record of 114 miles per hour, but most of the China in the train was broken by the time they got back to Euston. And in Germany, the same year, a train reached 124 miles per hour between Berlin and Hamburg. So, Sir Nigel Gresley was determined to beat it. And then they were making the double cowl tap exhaust to improve the drafting on the A4s. So, Mallard was the batch of A4s with double chimneys. And that way, it helped, and the depression behind the chimney, created by a thumb backstood on a plasticine model, it prevented smoke from blocking the driver's view. So it was really fantastic. When Mallard was built in 1938, she was commissioned in 1936, brought into service in March 1938, along with Bitton, Kestrel and all the other British Bird named engines. Bitton reached 90 miles per hour in 2013. She's preserved and hopefully are waiting for an overhaul. But let's get back to the subject of Mallard. Mallard was set to be the first engine to do a speed record, and I'll tell you about it in a second. Now, we all know speed for steam engines is highly official. Now, as we know, this year Tornado reached 101.6 miles per hour. Call it 102, but that was something for an A1, a class peppercorn A1 Pacific, to reach that sort of speed. Very good. Now, everyone would say they would love to see Bitton do that, but it's health and safety wise and costings to get these engines up and running up to speed. Now, back to the story. Sir Nigel Gresley's colleagues and the Ellen Niels colleagues, the Westinghouse Brakes, decided, well, Sir Nigel Gresley said to his colleague, "Do you think we can go faster than the LM?" which is the London Midland Scottish Railway, the LMS. So they were sorting out what sort of train they were going to have. They would have 6 cars of the Coronation instead of 8, plus the dynamometer car they had just to record the speed. And driver Joe Duddington, fireman Tommy Bray, and Inspector Jenkins on the footplate. And away they set, heading up. Mallard picked up speed, heading up Stoke Bank. Then, as soon as she reached the top, and down the hill she went. Down the hill she went. And Joe Duddington let her go. Just let her rip, and off she went. Then she reached 107, 108, 109, 110. He said, "Go on, old girl," he thought. "You can do better than this." So he nursed her, and the speed record was 123 miles per hour, 124. But he shot through Little Bytham at 123 miles per hour. Then the needle crept up further, 123.5, 124, 125, and for a quarter of a mile before the Essendine bend, 126 miles per hour. The fastest a steam locomotive ever been driven in the world. And that speed record was never beaten. But there was a price to pay. The big end on the 3-cylinder engine had failed, and the engine had to stop at Peterborough. Very unique how an A4 can achieve that, if pushed hard enough. That famous figure, 126, and it's never been beaten. But some Americans say they are determined to beat it, but I don't think they would. Because think about it, they'll have a length of track to do, and they'll have to get the engine to work hard to do that, and they'll need a big hill to do that. And by the time they reach 127, they'll be coming flying off the rails. But never mind. Mallard is a good engine. She's a brilliant engine that did 126 miles per hour. I love that engine, so I like that engine as well. That's why the A4s are my second favourite locomotives. The Northeastern Pacifics are my second favourites. Tornado is my second favourite mainline engine, of course, because of its chime whistle on the side, and the bell whistle, of course. I mean, Peppercorn ones never had chime whistles. They never did. They only had that high-pitched teapot whistle. Like the A2s, they had that as well. But it's a fantastic idea of steam and speed. That's what the East Coast Main Line was all about. Speed, and speed alone. That's what the high-speed service is. Like the Flying Scotsman Express. The A4s did that as well. When Mallard retired in 1963, the National Rail Museum found a way to steam her up again in the 1980s, which is fantastic. When she celebrated her 50th anniversary, she was steamed again and did so many outings and rail tours, even to Marylebone, in fact, alongside sister engine Sir Nigel Gresley, named after the famous designer, the 100th Gresley Pacific completed by Doncaster Works. That's where the A4s were built, Doncaster. And you got so many engine crews who would favour an A4, who loved them to bits. They loved the A4s. Lots of them were based at King's Cross Shed. Sir Nigel Gresley, the number 6007, which was 4498, was based at King's Cross, been a King's Cross engine all of its life, as well as Mallard. She was a King's Cross engine as well, known as Top Shed. And luckily we have 6 A4s that survive today. The 6 surviving A4s, and also Sir Nigel Gresley set 112 miles per hour in 1959. down the same bank that Mallard rose to fame, with driver Bill Hill at the helm. Not once but 3 times that day his train reached 100 miles per hour. And there's a plaque on the side of Swanage Gresley when it comes back out. This is 112 miles per hour. Well, when Bitten comes back, she has a plaque that she set 90 miles an hour to celebrate Mallard's unbeaten steam speed record that was set in July 1938. So I hope you enjoyed that story. But I haven't been. The truth is, I have not been to the National Railway Museum yet. But I'm gonna go soon, and I'll be the first ever enthusiast. That's it. It'll be my first time I've been there if I ever went there. But the engine I'll be determined to see is Mallard, as well as Flying Scotsman when she's there, I suppose. But Mallard is the one I dearly would love to see. I hope you all guys are doing well. Hope everyone's passed their exams. I'm hoping I'll pass mine soon enough. Well, I'll soon find out Friday at college. I'll soon find out. And here's some more tapping for you. Hope that's making you feel relaxed, and I hope that story made you feel relaxed as well. And tomorrow I won't be going off to Victoria because A4 Pacific Union of South Africa, number 6009, her trip has been postponed, so she won't be going out tomorrow. But no worries, I'll still see a steam engine, I'll still see one, eventually, which I will. I might as well go out Friday evening to go and see Flying Scotsman at London Victoria. I might as well go and see that. Still, it's steam, can't complain too much. But I'm looking forward to Tornado returning again. Looking forward to that. And then I'm looking forward to my engine coming back, which is Clan Line. I'm looking forward for her coming back. Because the Bullied Pacifics, because Oliver Bullied worked for the LNER before he became Chief Engineer of the Southern and designed his own fleet of Pacifics. The Merchant Navy class, the West Country and Battle of Britain class. Fantastic engines for the Southern Railway. Even though Mallard was in the 1948 exchanges, Mallard came down to the southern region, and Southern crews found her really interesting. How she did it. And some southern region men did try and put the engine to it 100 miles an hour into Salisbury with the Atlantic Coast Express. Because she has been to Plymouth on the 1948 locomotive exchanges. And that was really something for an engine like that. And the A4s can pull Pullman trains too. So I hope when Bitten returns, I hope she pulls the Pullman train as well, eventually. Because A4s are lovely engines. A Garter Blue Pacific at the head of gleaming Pullman cars. Lovely. But I hope soon we get to see 6007 Sir Nigel Gresley back out on the rails. Which is fantastic. So don't forget, it's a questions and answers video. Leave your questions in the comment section below. If those of you who are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if anyone else wants to subscribe to my channel, please like and subscribe this video, or subscribe to my channel if you want to see like a little bit of ASMR, train videos and so on. Just subscribe, and then as well as be patient as well, because I am busy. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy person. A lot of things to do, like college, working with steam engines all the time. And hopefully soon I might get a job working with a train company. I'm favouring for DB Cargo because I love that company. Because I have friends in DB Cargo who drove steam engines in the days of steam, and they could teach me more about steam engines as well as friends down at the train depot I work at as well, as a volunteer cleaning clan line. Oh, they can teach me a few things as well, so I can learn how to look after a mainline steam engine. And when I have my own money, like if I'm a millionaire, I'll buy my own steam loco for mainline use. But it has to be an express engine. I have to buy an express engine. But if the National Railway Museum want me to look after an engine on the main line, I would happy to, as long as they register it with DB Cargo. I wouldn't mind looking after an old Southern engine, which is Lord Nelson, a Lord Nelson class engine. Lord Nelson. I wouldn't mind looking after that. So I was pulled behind that when I went to the Mid-Hants Railway in 2012 to drive a steam engine. I was on my way down to Oxford. I was pulled by Lord Nelson. It's a lovely engine, a nice engine. I like it. So I like that as well. Because I like Southern region locos. I'm in favour of the Southern. But if I ever drove a steam engine again, I wouldn't mind driving the 9F class, the 9F. I wouldn't mind driving 92212. Wouldn't mind that. Or a standard class, I wouldn't mind. Well, I better wrap this one up, folks. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.